Hey, Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. In this video, I want to help you to become sharper at the net. So I want to start by giving you a simple tip to help you with the most important technical aspects of the volley that's going to enable you to become sharper. And then at the end of the video, I want to give you some help addressing the biggest thing that holds players back and prevents them from being sharp at the net. So hopefully you find the video helpful. If you do, it'd be great if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's much appreciated if you could do that as well. Being sharp at the net is all about being fast, and that means the most important part of the technique to focus on is going to be the timing of your split step. We want to be landing the split step just after your opponent makes contact, because as we land from the split step, we store elastic energy in the muscles, and then hopefully our visual system can read where the ball's going quickly enough, and then we can react and use the elastic in our muscles to move more quickly. So you want to be thinking about the timing of your split step. So you have to think about when to take off from your split step and how long you're going to be in the air for. And you have to calibrate that based on your opponent. Some people have got really big loops on their shots. So maybe if I'm playing an opponent with a big loopy forehand, I might need to start or take off from my split step as they're starting their forward swing. So that gives me time to land and then react. But maybe that same opponent on the backhand just does a real quick take back. So if I try and think about the timing in the same way, it won't work. I'll be late to do the split step. So you have to watch what your opponent's doing, and you have to kind of look at their strokes and try and time it so that you're landing at the right time. And then along with that goes really the width of your split step. You know, some people recommend a good base is going to be to have a racket's width apart. But if you watch top players, they're much wider than that. So you want to go as wide and as low as you can, kind of based on your flexibility and strength, because the lower you are, the more quickly you can push off to the side and in different directions. Or if you've got to deal with an overhead, it's going to be the same thing. So the timing of the split step and working on being lower and wider, that's going to be the most important thing to focus on if you want to be sharper at the net. So the split step timing is the thing to focus on technically, but the thing that holds most players back and prevents them being sharp at the net is normally the visual side of things. They're simply not able to process and read the flight of the ball quickly enough, and that prevents them from being really sharp around the net. So if you want to be much sharper, you want to work on the split step, but I also highly recommend doing some work to train and improve your visual system. And that's very simple to do once you know how. And to help you with that, I've created a free Tennis Vision starter program. I'll place a link up there, and I'll place a link down in the description so that you can start working on it. I've also been working on another project recently. Like, the manual vision training is awesome. It allowed me to change my game, and I've helped lots of other players to change their games with it. But I wanted to try and find a way to improve things even more. So I've been developing a virtual reality vision training program. It should be ready to go in the next few weeks. So if you'd like to learn more about that and get on the wait list so you can get notified as soon as we release it, I'll place a link up there and down in the description to the Tennis Vision VR as well. But hopefully, very simple technique that you can start to work on in terms of the split step timing. I guess one thing I should say is that if you're a little bit older and you don't have the conditioning to do a split step in every shot, instead of landing like I was doing, you can just have a wide, stable base and you can just gently bend your knees rather than kind of landing. But ultimately, I highly recommend working on strengthening your feet, strengthening your ankles and calves so that you're safer and able to use effective footwork. On that note, I guess I'll throw a video down into the description as well that's going to show you a bit of a conditioning program that you can use for your feet and ankles, and that'll cover your bases. Okay, hopefully this video has been useful to you. If it has, give me a thumbs up. Any questions about what I've talked about here, leave them down below, and I'll catch you next time.